So today I'm continuing my little journey through Jerusalem, and let me show you here. I haven't seen this before. It's under construction. I'm not sure what's going on, but usually cars can come through here, believe it or not. Thankfully it's only a one-way street and cars do come through here. It's very narrow, and we're in what's known as the Armenian Quarter, and we're gonna walk right through it, and we're gonna make our way through the winding streets of Jerusalem, and we're gonna head to the Jewish quarter. And there's a lot of things along the way where we're just gonna stop. We're gonna pause, we're gonna reflect. I'm gonna give you a little bit of whether it's some historical, logical, biblical teaching, whatever it is that applies to the time. So with this construction, it's really, really narrow right now. Let me just change the view here. So if you decide to come down here on your own, and you go left out of the hotel, left on Mapu, you go left on King David Street, and you turn right into Mamila, and come through the Jaffa Gate, and you follow it to the right past the Tower of David. If you want to get down to the Western Wall, do not go straight. Turn left here. This place here called St. James Street. Take it from me. If you go straight, you will still get to the Western Wall, but it's the long way around. So you want to make sure you take a left there at James Street. Now we're just going to take our time and just walk through the old city a little bit. I'll speak up or pipe up whenever I think there's something important to show you, but if not, just enjoy the view. A lot of beautiful little winding roads. So I'm going to make my way down to a central location, to something known as the Cardo. So you're going to look at it and see a bunch of ruins and wonder, what's the big deal? When I tell you about its historical location, you'll understand. Kids on a trip? Just going to make my way through a bit of a crowd, and I'm just continuing to make my way through the old city. Just doing a bit of a walking tour, what I call a walk and talk, and we've arrived somewhere that's actually really, really cool. So let me show this to you here. This is called the Cardo, and when you look at it, you see there's some old floor here. Here's some pillars from antiquity. Then there's some kind of arched buildings to the left there. So let's make our way over there, and then I'll kind of walk you through what it is that we're looking at here. I used to walk by here all the time. Didn't really know what it was until I came on my first tour. Our guide took us down there and explained to us what it was that we were seeing. And then I kind of made the connection. So let me show you up ahead here. So this road, of course, in antiquity, it continued all the way through there. Today it's all built up. There's stores, there's shops, there's homes. Same thing when you go that way. It kind of ends here as far as we're concerned. But if I was to take you down this road, you'd see the Cardo continue. In antiquity, this would just go all the way through. And so let me kind of walk us through what we're seeing here. So again, more steps, big surprise. Okay, so you see these archways, right? And you look at them, there's one there, there's one there. You can tell there was one there, one there, one there. And you can kind of see the blocks would have made like the separations. Not those are newer, of course, but in antiquity, I mean, this was the main walking way. So you'd come from here, and then you'd walk through here, and you keep going down. And there'd be shops on this side and shops on this side. And the main Cardo, imagine this as kind of like a strip mall. And so, you know, like we came from Manila in an earlier video, and we saw like all these shops side by side. So here's a shop here, here's a shop here, there was a shop here, here, all the way down, and just hundreds of them. And every time the Bible talks about Jesus walking through the marketplace, this is what it means. So he's walking through this marketplace, and there's people to the left, there's people to the right, and there's scriptures that talk about him healing people in the marketplaces. I mean, just imagine what that must have been like, with thousands of people buying spices and food, and they're trading and whatever. And right in the middle of that, people are being healed. I mean, no wonder he made such a commotion everywhere he went. When we come to Israel, there's not a lot of places anymore where we can say this is 100%, you know, where Jesus stood, this is where he walked, because the city has changed so much. Over the centuries, Israel, and Jerusalem specifically, has been captured and taken and recaptured and retaken by so many cultures, and every time that happens, it's razed to the ground, they cover it up and they build on top of it, and that keeps going. So to look at anywhere and say, no, this is where he actually walked, that's really hard to do. But the Cardo was one of those places. You can see here that we came down, remember we came down these steps here. So we've come down to an original level floor from the time of Herod, from the time of Jesus. And look at this here. You can see this is kind of like older stone. That's original stone. And then they've interlaced it with newer stone, and it gives it this kind of beautiful look. So I want you to think about this as we're walking. So we're on new stone, new stone, new stone, and now we're on original stone. This is where people walked on 2,000 years ago. So if you want to come to a place, where we know for sure this is where Jesus walked, the Cardo is one of those places.